recording now. Yep. Okay, so who wants to have a go at number one? Anyone?
I mean, sure, nobody's gonna do it, but okay, yeah, fine, nobody's gonna do it. I put the mask between Johim and Am. That's where I put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joachim macht am Samstag 8 Uhr eine Fete. Where are we going for number two?
After the
What's
Is it
the
after?
go on.
Is it after Woche?
Is it
Yeah.
after Woche? Yeah.
What's the rule that we have to remember?
Well, the verb's the second idea.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I get hesitant.
Number three.
After the comma.
Why did you say that?
Well, because I feel like it's like stelle vor wird sie, blah blah blah. Like it's second idea again.
So I think you might be getting confused. There's a slightly different rule. So there's one rule which is the kind of construction verb, comma verb. So when you've got a verb that's been sent to the end of the clause, so say you've got weil or something, and then you put a comma after it because that's the end of the clause, and then the verb has to be inverted after that comma. Here, stell dir vor, this for is just a prefix. Vorstellen. It's a preposition. Vorstellen, imagine. So it's it's a prefix. So for isn't a verb here. The stell here is the verb. So the verb hasn't gone to the end. So it's in this clause, the second clause here. It's still got to be a verb as the second idea. So where would you put it?
Between the Z and the Am,
Yeah.
right?
After Z.
Yeah.
The comma like pauses, or not ends, but pauses the sentence kind of thing.
It structures it, so it makes the clauses.
Yeah.
Number four. Hold on, why is it done that? That's right.
Oh.
There you go. So
I put the bin between the ich and the for.
yeah. Ich bin froh. Then where does the schaffe go?
Oh no, I think I did it wrong because I just realised das is there, so then it has to.
Is it between the zu and the sein?
Between the where?
The zu and the sein at the end.
No, not quite.
Not.
So think. So here you've got your first clause, and you've got your verb in here. Every clause needs a verb. Then you've got your third clause here, the vorhabe ich mit meiner Arbeit fertig zu sein. So that's got a verb here, the sein at the end, and then you've got this clause in the middle which doesn't have a verb. So we need a verb there.
Oh, at the end, just before the comma, where it's
at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Of das.
Yeah, that's what I did wrong too, Alex. I put it in the wrong place.
Dass ich jeden Tag schaffe. What does froh mean? I am
For it means glad, pleased, that sort of thing.
glad.
For, yeah. Number five.
is brauche just before, just after Urlaub.
Yeah. But it's more like fill them in as the sentence goes because it proves one of the rules that you have to know.
So would it be before dieses Jahr? Before? Oh, I don't know.
I put the Fahrer between ich and diese, but that's probably wrong.
Why would you? So why do you think that?
because it otherwise it's just saying before I this year on holiday. So like, sure, there like where like there has to be a verb, so you have to put it before where you're going, because you have to say like how you went before you say where you're going.
Okay, so
That was such a bad explanation.
fun. I mean, the bit of knowledge that you're missing is that before is a subjugating conjunction.
Oh,
So
I didn't know.
so bevor ich dieses Jahr in Urlaub fahre, the verb goes to the end. Yeah, and then what was the rule? This is an example of the rule that I told Alex about earlier. The verb,
So-
comma verb.
Yeah, so then you have to do the brauche ich.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Number 6. First clause.
Would the verb be just before the comma?
No, there's nothing. There's nothing there that's making it do that. There's no vowel there's no conjunction
Oh,
that
okay.
can do that. So you've just got seine Mutter is the first
Seine Mutter
idea.
war. Seine Mutter war besorgt.
There's nothing that is making it go to the end. Then second clause.
Does the Kam
Oh,
go
yeah.
after Hauser?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the connective und.
But then careful, because whilst und does almost create a new clause. I mean, but remember, you haven't actually had a comma. You don't put commas between und. Und doesn't require a comma in German. So the verb that's going to come here is still going to be subject to this vowel.
Oh, so it goes at the end.
Yeah. Because it's still subject to this vowel. So seine Mutter war besorgt, weil gestern Abend nicht nach Hause kam und sie auch nicht anrief. So it's still
Okay, so it still obeys the bully.
It's still under the vowel. Yeah. So it's still under the. It's in this. There's not a comma between the vowel and the end of the sentence. Because
So if there was, and it was a different connective than und.
I wouldn't think about it. I just think because I mean it would be the same with auch. Auch doesn't have a comma. You don't need a comma around auch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just look for commas. If you can't see a comma between vowel and the end of the sentence, then anything that's within that sentence is going to have to be subject to the vowel. It's going to have to go to the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1.
Well, the has to go before the Volta.
Yeah, that's correct, surely.
So at the start, agreed?
Volta.
Yeah, wollte.
Then would it be the verb? Was the verb's second idea?
We've already got a verb.
Well, we've already got the verb, that's true.
Well,
Yeah,
no, because it wouldn't go at the end, because it's
Oh yeah, it would go at the end. Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's a modal.
yeah. So volta is the modal verb. So the modal verb, it's the verb that when you've got modal verbs, there's always going to be an infinitive, and the infinitive is always at the end. So volta is the thing that has to come second at some point. The modal verb is the thing that has to come second. The infinitive can wait until the end of the sentence. So volta.
Then is it seine Lehrerin?
Yeah. Why do you say that?
Because, well, because it wouldn't make sense. I mean, in English you could say flowers to the teacher, but because it's, I don't know. It made sense, but I didn't know why.
Yeah, so in German there is the standard word order is subject, dative object, accusative object. If that does that make sense? So
Yeah.
because of the case system, you could say wollte Blumen seine Lehrerin schenken, but if you said that, you would be placing the emphasis on the Blumen, because normally it would be wollte seine Lehrerin Blumen schenken. So you're placing emphasis on the Blumen. So let's just demonstrate that. So say you said to someone, hast du hast du den Schlüssel zu dem Mann gegeben, right? So imagine that. So you're saying, have you given the key to the man? Question mark. And so you hadn't given the key, but you'd given a book. So you might want to stress the fact that it's a book as opposed to a key. So you might say, nein. Aber, and then you might just want to say das Buch because it puts the emphasis. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I made a mistake here. It should be, yeah, dem Mann. Den Schlüssel. Okay. So that's standard German word order. So you've got your dative object to the man, and then you've got your accusative object, den Schlüssel. And then if you wanted to stress the fact that you weren't giving a key to the man, you were giving him a book, then you might say, nein, ich habe das Buch dem Mann gegeben. Just because that's stressing the fact that it's a book that you've given. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Normally, normally the word order would go dative object, accusative object. Oh, sorry.
So does it always try and like put emphasis on who you're giving it to rather than the thing you're given most of the time, unless you're trying to put emphasis on what you've given to somebody?
Yeah, I wouldn't think of the normal. If I were you, I wouldn't think of the normal word order, the dative, accusative, as placing emphasis as such. It is just the word order. This version where you've got accusative dative is when you are placing the emphasis on the accusative object, the thing that is being given. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can think about it in German. Normally they care about the indirect object. Like the indirect object is the thing that you mentioned first, and then it's so indirect object, then direct object. So dative and accusative. So we just finish this one. Blumen schenken. Then number 2. Anyone for number 2?
Oh.
It's a message in my head, this does.
So, well, the first one has to be Z.
See,
Yep.
straight away. Yeah.
And then hat erklärt.
See, hat erklärt.
Why are you saying hat erklärt?
Oh no, because
Yeah.
she had explained, yeah.
Or has explained?
Yeah.
She had. Remember, she had will be a.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. She had to erklärt.
Oh, so then actually, yeah. So then hat.
Yeah.
And then Ihrem Chef.
Yep. Why?
Because it's who she's explaining it to.
Yeah. So
That goes first.
the dative object. Yeah.
Yeah, and then die Überraschung des Problems erklärt.
Yeah. Die Ursache des Problems.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I think you don't have to worry about there being genitive in there because it's sort of it's the Ursache des Problems is it's a whole thing. It's the accusative object. If that makes sense. You don't have to do what the origin of the problem, the reason of the problem that's the thing. If that makes sense. So you don't have to worry about there being a genitive. That doesn't affect the word order essentially. from C. Number 3.
I wasn't sure.
Wie gestern habe ich vom H&M gekauft.
Hold on a minute. No, not quite. There are two versions of this you can have. Your first bit's correct. Gestern habe ich. So for whom are you buying the
Oh, meinem Mann einen neuen Pulli von H&M gekauft.
That's it, ja. Mein Mann einen von H&M.
Wait, what's the other way you can do it then?
The other way you can do it, I'm just checking because I got this from your book. Gestern habe ich meinem Mann von H&M einen neuen Pulli gekauft. So the einen neuen Pulli und von H&M are kind of interchangeable. It doesn't matter, but it doesn't really matter too much which one you have, which way you have it around. But this is the one it suggests. The other one is the other. So einen neuen Pulli von H&M gekauft. Sorry, from H&M gekauft is the one it suggests. The von H&M einen neuen Pulli gekauft is the one. Is it the other option? But this is the one it says to go for. Number 4. Alex from Tokyo. So think about what's going on in the clauses. So we know that a clause has to have a verb. And so we know that the Ich hoffe it functions as a clause on its own. It functions as a clause on its own because you've then got the das, the comma das. So we don't need another verb in the hoffe, in the Ich hoffe.
No, I hope that.
So Ich hoffe, and then what's going to be next?
I feel like the das stays.
Yeah, the das stays there because there's no reason for it
Yeah.
not to, essentially.
No, yeah. That's what I can think of where it goes. I hope that. Deinem Freund?
Yep.
Yeah, ich hope that. Friend.
Because it goes dative object first. Unemployed. Done.
Hast du die Nachricht gegeben?
No, remember, don't forget about the das. It's quite easy when you're sort of in the depths of the word order to forget that you've got this das going on. So what are we looking at next? So dative object, then
Die Nachricht, I'm thinking.
yeah, die Nachricht. Sorry, we've got something actually. What should go here? After the das?
The do.
Yeah. Sorry, we got about that one.
Nachricht gegeben hast.
Yep. Number 5.
I have no idea.
It's a similar principle to the top one. So sorry, to number 4. To number 4.
So I guess ich weiß das.
Yeah.
Ich weiß das.
And then I put do.
Let's comment das. Yeah, do goes there.
Dass
And
du
then mir.
mehr.
Yep, dass du mir.
Dass du mir etwas.
Etwas, ja.
Was?
Zu sagen hast.
Ja. Ja, zu sagen hast.
And then is it sag mir es?
Close. Sag es mir.
Oh,
Just stays the same.
Ja, sag es mir. So I'm just checking against the answer.
it's fine.
Hast du mir etwas zu sagen hast, sag es mir. Yeah. Say it to me. And number 6.
Yeah, I guess this one too. I had no idea.
So, okay, so we've got this first statement. Was hält deine Mutter von unseren Urlaubsfotos? That makes perfect sense. There's nothing
I was gonna say, I was gonna
to be added to that. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
uh, then we must have our 3 little things to place. They must all come in the second statement.
Ich habe.
Yep.
Noch sie.
Um,
But it's not a
ich
word.
habe,
Was
ich
it?
habe, ja, ich habe sie.
Noch
Wie-
nicht?
Yeah, noch nicht.
Not quite. I should have. Sorry, I should have told you. When you've got nouns, so like this example here, so hast du dem Mann den Schlüssel gegeben. When you've got nouns, so they are nouns themselves, then it's going to be subject, dative object, accusative object. When you've got relative pronouns, like the sie here, because the sie here is in reference to all our portals, then it becomes subject, accusative, dative. Does that make sense?
Wait, subject, accusative, dative, so they get switched.
Yeah, it switches when you've got the relative pronouns. I think I'm correct in saying that.
Oh, so yeah, so basically what it's saying is I haven't yet showed them to her.
Yeah.
So then it would be ihr noch nicht gesagt?
Ja, ihr gesagt. Ich habe sie ihr noch nicht gesagt. I'll just check that if I can find a quote from a grammar to back me up.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so nouns, it says here, the usual order for subjects and objects when they are all nouns following the verb is subject, dative object, accusative object. And then it says this does not apply when the objects are personal pronouns. So yeah, so sorry, it's not just relative, it's not relative pronouns, it's personal pronouns. So take for example number 5. Ich weiß, dass du mir etwas zu sagen hast. Does that make sense? So I'm just trying to make sure it makes sense. That's definitely the answer. Okay, hold on. Personal pronouns. Personal pronouns following a finite verb usually come immediately after the verb. And it says, when the subject and both objects are all personal pronouns, the order is subject, accusative, dative. I'm just trying to make sure, see how that works with number 5. So yeah, so this makes sense for number 5 because it's this is the dative object, right? And they're not all personal pronouns. If they are all personal pronouns, then it goes subject, accusative, dative. Mir is a personal pronoun, to me. Etwas is not a personal pronoun. So it reverts to this, the standard one, subject, dative, accusative. However, when you get to number 6, ich habe sie ihr noch nicht gezeigt, right? Then you, oh no, that doesn't make sense. I'll put something on the group chat about that to justify that, because I know how it works. It's trying to find a justification for it. Yeah. So I'll send you some justification about that on the group chat. Sorry about that.
Sorry?
Any other questions? Or two?
No.
Okay, I'll stop recording.
Alex?